Bad investment number one, timeshares.
Hey guys, George Confoy here. 5 things you need to know before buying a timeshare. Number 1, never buy a timeshare during a timeshare presentation. I know that might sound a bit crazy to you, but never do it. Part of the reason being is that they're going to try to sell you in a timeshare for the most amount of money that you can afford. You'll know if you've ever sat through a timeshare that your best price doesn't come from the initial offering. Once you decide that you don't want a timeshare, they'll come back to you with like a 50% reduction in price. Initially, they'll start at like $40,000, come back and offer it to you for like 20 grand. All right, guys, here's a clip that I found online from a former timeshare salesperson that's pretty much going to outline and identify exactly what I just shared with you.
And then, did I tell you what they used? The Mexicans, my nickname was?
No.
It was Mr. AT&T. Okay.
Oh yeah, because
I'd be on the phone, there was nobody there, and I'd be talking to Irvine, California.
The closer.
And the Mexicans couldn't understand how I could do this for 10, 15 minutes at a time. There's nobody there. And I was having a conversation with allegedly corporate.
Yeah.
The customers.
Oh, let me call corporate. We'll see if we can get this handled.
See what they say.
Well, it was very ballsy. And you know what? I have to tie something in. I think you guys will appreciate it. The reason why I was probably slow to start to bring you guys in is because I was allowed to do, I really want you to hear this, I was allowed to do my own drops at the table. And when I did a drop, I would make them puke at 15.5 for 1 week, and I would hold at 15.5, and they'd vomit continuously. Nobody wants to pay $15,500 for 1 week of timeshare, and I wouldn't let them off the hook. I was trained not to let them off the hook. And when I went ahead and, you know what I do? I say, folks, there's nothing I can do, and I am so sorry. I'm gonna get you guys back on vacation. 70% of the deals were after I said, I'm going to get
it's
you.
the same as your takeaway.
Well, but you know what else? But what else would happen? Not only was it a takeaway, but what else was happening with them? They were being completely let off the hook, and they were done. And in that moment, they completely dropped and relaxed. It was like, oh, this guy's done with us. Thank goodness.
In the right
Agreed
direction.
completely. And so what would happen is I would do from 15.5. And they would, the word was...
They're on the ceiling. They're on the
Make them puke. I was drilled into me.
Same thing.
Hold
them
it
on the
15.5. Hold it. And nobody sold timeshare to 15.5 for 1 week. That was outrageous. And they'd puke and puke and puke, but I'd hold and hold and hold. Then when I got on the phone with Mr. Nobody in Irvine, California, Mr. AT&T, and they actually, literally, that was my nickname, Mr. AT&T. And they did diagrams of me on the phone, like they did little... Anyway, I would drop to about 8,200. Or sometimes 7,600. It was a radical
half price,
radical drop.
And
what happened was, yes, a lot of the time, because I held so well and lined them so well. Excuse me, I lined them also, but closed them. They would go, okay, we'll take that repo. Of course, it's not a fucking repo. There's no such thing as a repo. But it's a great word because it's not fee simple. You don't own it, so you can't repo it. It's just time. But the point is, the word worked.
Right.
The word worked. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, Dave. Thank you for sharing your timeshare.
I have a lot of other things too, but
I know.
We'll do that when time.
Yeah,
time allows.
we'll have another thing. Thank you, Dave.
All right, thanks.
That's all for now.
That was actually.
But I want to share with you, which leads me to the second thing you need to know, is that you can find those timeshares online for a fraction of the cost. If not a fraction, free. $1, $200, the same exact timeshares. All right, so here's website number 1, tug2.com. And you can see as you log in here, Timeshare Users Group. Up top, there's a bar here. So go to Timeshare Marketplace. You can see Timeshare Marketplace, resales, rentals, and so forth and so on. So let's go to resales, just so they give you an idea. So we're going to kind of scroll down here to Timeshares for Sale. Click on View Ads. And we're going to click on Florida Gulf Coast, Orlando. And these are listed as newest listings, and then it goes to the older listings. You can see here that there was one listed as early as today, Orange Lake Resort. I've actually stayed at Orange Lake Resort. It's a pretty nice resort. They're trying to sell a 2-bed, 2-bath, which normally sells for about $16,000 for 1 week for $3,500 with a maintenance fee of $1,243.48. One thing I'm going to share with you is that same exact vacation club. A friend of mine and I stayed there for 30 days, not being timeshare owners, and we paid less than $1,000 a week to stay there, and we had access to all of the same amenities as owners did. So, spending $3,500 to buy this is purely a waste of money, and then even paying maintenance fees of $1,243.48 a year is a waste too. So you're overpaying on both sides. You're overpaying by paying a fee initially, and then you're overpaying with the maintenance fees. So don't do that. And then as you scroll down here, you can see Vacation Village. This was listed 1/9/2020. And then we're going to kind of scroll down even further so you can see what I was saying with reference to the ones that they're selling for $1. This is as early as January 8th, a couple of days ago, selling it for $1, and the maintenance fee is $3,700. Hello, $3,700 a year. I would never, ever, ever take it. I wouldn't even take it for free, never mind $1. And then you got Vacation Villas again, Fantasy World 2, Kissimmee, 2-bed, 2-bath. Sale price is $1, maintenance fee is $405. That actually doesn't sound that bad. You might want to look into that. If you're interested in a timeshare and you must have a timeshare, this could be a good buy for you. For me, I'm staying as far away from it as possible because I know that this $405 is going to eventually become $3,700 a month or $1,300 a month. So this is just for me to show you that there are sites out there where you can get these timeshares for way less money than what they're going to sell you in on during a presentation. Okay, this is tug2.com. And there are other websites as well. This one here is the world's largest. Excuse me, a little bit of congestion going on. Red Week. So go to redweek.com. You can find timeshare resales. And let's see, we'll type Orlando maybe. Let's see, Orlando International Resort Club. Holiday Inn Club Vacations. I don't know. We'll just see. What's this? Pick up. Oh, we're not trying to sell. We don't want to sell a timeshare. We want to find timeshares. Sorry. So let's see. Orlando. For Orlando. Let's try this. Find timeshares. Okay, here we go. So this is rentals. I want to see sales, resales. Okay, so you know what? We'll give you some examples with rentals anyway. You can see at Wyndham Bonnet Creek Resort, they start at $82 all the way up to $500. You're going to get a lot of the same amenities for that, $82 a night as you would for $500 a night, minus what you would get within the unit. But you're going to get access to the grounds, access to a lot of the amenities. It looks like 6 resale available for $1,650 all the way up to $15,000. Excuse me. Then you got Holiday Inn Club Vacations at Orange Lake Resort. You got them as low as $1 all the way up to $16,000. Rentals are $86 a night to $321 a night. Here at the Sheraton Vista Resort, you got them as low as $0. So in other words, they're going to give them to you for free. Just pick up the maintenance cost rather. And you can just see that there's many options here, and they're all over the place. Westgate, Vacation Village. And there's a lot of new ones and there's a lot of old ones. People just can't sell them, and a lot of the newer listings are people just relisting them because they couldn't sell them. So they keep relisting them on these sites. So this is, again, just, information for you to make an informed decision and to help you, with the timeshare buying process. Me personally, I'm only doing this to help you out. To help those that could be victims of buying timeshares. And again, I'm not knocking timeshares. I just think that the whole process ends up costing you way more money than what the experience is worth. That's just my opinion. That's my 2 cents. It's my belief. All the research I've done has led me to believe that. You can do your own research. Again, hopefully you find this video to be helpful and informative, and you can use it so that you can make your own informed decision. Here's another website, our resort destinations. Let's see. So Westgate Resorts. So if you wanted to buy a timeshare there, you could, right? But if you wanted to rent, one of their hotel rooms and even one of their villas, look at this, Westgate Vacation Villas, starting at as low as $109 a night. You want to do the math on that for me? 7 times $109. Let's call it 100. That's 700 times 10. It's $770. Some of these maintenance fees are more than that per year for 1 week. So why would you buy a timeshare when you can find rentals like this for $109 a night, less than what you would pay in a maintenance fee, and far less than what you're going to pay up front in an upfront cost to buy this timeshare? To me, it's ridiculous. It don't make sense. I would say it's a scam. However, you might beg to differ. This is, again, my 2 cents, my information that I found, and again, I hope you find this to be helpful. Again, that's number 2. You can find your timeshares much cheaper online via eBay, timesharenation.com, tug2.com, or redweek.com for a fraction of the cost, in some cases $1, some cases for free. Now, I'm not telling you not to buy a timeshare. This is just information that you can have at your disposal in case you decide you want to buy one. You might find it to work out for you. You might find it to be favorable, but this here should help you to save money. This way, you're not paying the most amount during the sales presentation. You can actually do some homework on your own, and you could, look toward those other sites to make a better purchase for yourself and your family. Number 3, be prepared, and I know I've kind of already talked about this, but be prepared to pay the maintenance fee. And as I mentioned, they're going to start by telling you that the maintenance fee is going to be like $400 to $500 a year. Maybe it's $400 to $500 every other year based on what you can afford. And then it's going to quickly go up 4 to 8% every single year. Now, the other thing they don't tell you, and it's in your contract, is that there might be a time where there's some sort of a disaster on the property. Maybe they need to replace a roof. Maybe they need to do some repairs. And let's just say that the cost for that particular year are more or is more than what the owners have paid in via their maintenance fees. Then they're going to assess you an additional fee for that year. So just know that even if they tell you that your maintenance fees will never go up, which is a total lie, they can readdress those fees through assessments, which they won't share with you during the presentation. And if they do, kudos to them for being honest and upfront with you. You should definitely probe them and maybe get some real life examples from owners. And maybe you might want to even try to find some owners at that resort and get, their take on what their experience has been, good or bad, before you make a decision to buy. So that's just it. Number 3 is be prepared. To pay those maintenance fees, and also be prepared for them to go up. They're not always going to be $400 or $500 a year. They're going to quickly go up to $1,000, if not more. There's some people that are paying $3,000 a year in maintenance fees, which is totally ridiculous. Hey guys, here's an example of a gentleman who experienced exactly what I was telling you about your maintenance fees going up and up and up, and how he just got to a point where he had enough. Here he is.
Okay, so let me explain a little bit about my maintenance fees. You may be in a similar situation. This might ring a bell. Okay, in 85, maintenance fees were $265. We are in the year of 2018. I just paid them at the end, because I pay in December. At the end of 2017, my maintenance fees were now $825. So it went from $265 up to $825. Okay, then I've been part of RCI, which is Resorts Condominium International, this whole entire time. I mean, that was my choice to stay with that. And that gave me the ability to be able to trade with whether in the United States, or you could also trade somewhere else as well. But I did a few times in the United States, and anyways, that gave you the opportunity to do that. The problem with it, at least nowadays, is not only do you pay about $100 a year to have that service, when you go and trade, you're looking at a couple $100 minimum, $200 to $300 just to trade. So now you're into it about $1,000 if you trade, because, you know, I mean, I can go to Pagosa Springs every year, and as nice as that is, it might be nice to go somewhere else for a change too. So my first step of action to cut my cost was I no longer did RCI, and that was just this year for the very first time. I did not renew my membership to RCI because I figure I'm not using it anyways. It's been years and years since I've used this thing. I haven't, there's no point in paying. That saved me $100 right there. Okay, I did pay my maintenance fee because I don't want to ruin my credit.
Number 4, don't be fooled into thinking timeshares appreciate. They do not appreciate. You're buying time. Think about it. It's a timeshare. So you're sharing in time with other people. You do not own any real estate whatsoever. All you do is basically own that block of time. Okay, even if you're deeded, you only own that block of time, or you own, say, 50,000 points or 100,000 points that you can apply toward said week at said hotel or resort. So don't think that that's going to appreciate. If anything, it's going to depreciate as soon as you give your money over. And it's going to depreciate by that exact amount. So if you give them $15,000 today, you are not going to get $15,000 for it tomorrow. You'll be lucky if you get $200 or $300 for it, to be completely honest with you. And we're going to show you some examples in just a few moments. So don't be fooled by thinking it appreciates. And also, they try to sell you in on being able to pass the deed down to family members. It'll be in your family for a lifetime. If anything, all you're doing is you're passing a bill onto your family member. And I don't think you want to do that. It's not like passing down a house that's appreciated by 400% or even 100%. Let's say you paid $200,000 for a house 10 years ago, it's worth $400,000 now. I mean, you've paid down, say, 50% of it, you know, and maybe you got $100,000 in equity plus what the new evaluation is. Say you got $300,000 in equity and you gift it to your son or your daughter, they'll at least be able to sell that and make some money with it. You can't do that with a timeshare. You're basically handing them a bill. So again, don't be fooled by thinking timeshares appreciate. They depreciate, and if anything, they appreciate in expenses. So they cost you more money with time. And the other thing, which I pretty much already kind of covered, is when you go to sell. There is no resale market for timeshares. And I'm going to show you examples of people trying to sell their timeshares and barely can get $1 for it. $1 after paying $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000 for it. You're lucky to get $1. Okay, and in most cases they can't even give them away because the people who they're looking to give them away to don't want a bill. So just be aware of these things before you sit in on a presentation. I know that in many cases their gifts, you know, kind of lure you in. And in some cases, their gifts are good. I know that I've sat through a few presentations. I survived. I did not buy a timeshare. And I walked away with a decent gift. I know the first time we did it, we got discounted Disney tickets. So we were happy about that. The second time I did it, we ended up getting, I think, $100 gift card or something like that. So again, it was okay. It was somewhat worth it. Also keep in mind, they promise you 90 minutes of presentation time, which usually turns out to be 3 to 4 hours. I had a friend that just had come down to Orlando. I'm in Sarasota, but I met these guys for lunch, and they were sharing with me that this time around he had an owner's meeting. And don't be fooled by that either. I know they try to make you feel special when you want a timeshare, but the truth of the matter is they're just looking to get more money from you, which is exactly what happened to my friend. And part of me doing this video is because of this story that he shared with me. So he sat in on his owner's meeting, and like I thought, they had an upgrade for him. So he currently has 2 weeks in timeshare ownership, and they upgraded him to 4 weeks. And they tried to make him feel like he's getting a super deal, and the only thing he's getting is a screwing. Just my interpretation and my thoughts on it. So let me explain to you what he ended up getting. originally had a 2-bedroom, 2-bath timeshare, which would result in either 1 week in that 2-bedroom, 2-bath, or 2 weeks in a 1-bed, 1-bath, right? So he had up to 2 weeks of vacation time. So what they had done was they upgraded him to a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, and he thinks he's got a deal at $16,000. Okay, he already owes money on the 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and they just added another $16,000 to the amount of money that he owes at 14.99% interest. Can't believe it. It's just mind-boggling to me. So the long and short of the story is he now owes $43,000 of the $50,000 that it's costing him for this timeshare. Nearly $700 a month to pay back. $700 a month. Yes, you heard me right. $700 a month and $1,500 a year in maintenance fees. It's costing him over $11,000 a year, and it will for the next 10 years. How does that remotely make sense? At any rate, pretty much already covered the top 5, and I'll just kind of repeat, right? Number 1 is never buy during a timeshare sales presentation. Never. Number 2, the reason you never want to buy in a timeshare sales presentation is because you can find those exact timeshares online for nearly free. If not nearly free, $1, $50, $200. Some are still asking $1,000 or $2,000. They're never going to get it. But you can find those exact timeshares online for far less than what they're going to sell you in a presentation. That's number 2. Number 3, be prepared to pay the maintenance fee. Not just be prepared to pay the maintenance fee, but be prepared knowing that that maintenance fee is going to go up every single year that you own that timeshare, 4 to 8%. Number 4, don't be fooled into thinking that timeshares appreciate. They absolutely do not. There's no resale value in a timeshare, which means they don't appreciate, right? Because if they did appreciate and you paid, say, $10,000 today, in 20 years' time, you should at least be able to get 15 or 20 grand for it, right? Well, the truth of the matter is you'll be lucky if you break even. Okay? So don't be fooled into thinking that timeshares appreciate. Number 5, when you go to sell, you're going to find that there is no resale market. People just don't want it.
If you've ever vacationed at a big resort, you know exactly how it works. You go to this beautiful hotel and you walk in and you go to the check-in counter and the person sitting there says, "Welcome to our resort. I want to thank you for being here. And, because you're so beautiful, I want to give you $500 in resort credits if you come to our timeshare seminar tomorrow." When you buy a timeshare, you pay a whole bunch of money up front. And then you pay annual maintenance fees for owning this timeshare. And in exchange, you get partial ownership of the resort. Now, let me clarify what this ownership really means. This ownership doesn't come with any income. And this ownership doesn't come with any equity in the resort. It's actually the exact opposite. You get access to this resort which you're at, or maybe one of the partner resorts, for 1 week a year. That's what this ownership gives you. Wait, why do you have to do that? Can't you just go online and rent a room at one of these resorts? Why would you want to book a vacation like a peasant? If you pay me $30,000 today and $1,000 a year, you are guaranteed to have access to this resort for 1 week a year during a week that you don't want to go on a vacation. I mean, there's no resale market for timeshares, and I'd be locked in to when and where I can vacation. And on top of that, I'd have to pay $800 a year in annual maintenance fees. That's enough to cover the cost of my vacation.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, and give us a thumbs up if you like this video content. Also, I'm going to put in the notes section links to all of the video clips that I used in this video to give credit to those that provided the information. Be sure to subscribe to their channels as well. There's some fantastic folks, and they also offer some other valuable information that could be perhaps helpful for you, whether it be in finances or picking great vacations or saving money on your vacations and things of that nature. So again, hit subscribe, hit the notification link, give us a thumbs up. We'd love to be able to create more content for you. Be well, take care, and don't get caught up in timeshare scams. Be well.